And then
welcome to In the Hot Seat, where each week we put the tech headlines in the hot seat to determine what's real and what's hype. So let's get into it. Our first story, Salesforce signed a definitive agreement to acquire Fin, the company formerly known as Intercom, for approximately $3.6 billion. Intercom renamed itself for its AI agent. That's talk about all in. Fin, which resolves customer queries end-to-end across live chat, email, WhatsApp, SMS, phone, and Slack. Deals expected to close in Salesforce Q4. Benioff, I thought this quote was good, and we can jump into this a bit, but Benioff framed it as additive to Agentforce, saying Fin brings proven agent technology, a deep commitment to customer success, and an incredible AI team that will complement Agentforce with powerful service agent capabilities. So what do you guys think about it?
First thing that appears to me is it's more of it seems to be more of an admission that Agentforce was going to take a long time to play out, yes, and that they could acquire a bunch of customers who are already using something, and maybe Agentforce needs some help.
You're almost as cynic as I am.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it is. There's no question that Intercom Fin has 30,000 AI customers. So I mean, they have a good install base. From that standpoint, that's not bad, and it is their largest acquisition since Slack. And definitely biggest in the agent era, right?
For Salesforce, there are two good things. One is, let's put Stephen's words the other way around, frame it positively.
Okay.
They now have something that can be installed fast, because it's actually something that works pretty much out of the box. Yeah. This is part one. Part two is they are going strongly into the SMB market, and this is where Fin is stronger than Agentforce, which takes a bit of manpower or woman power or power in general. And point three is Fin is where Salesforce's major competition is. Yeah. And that makes it kind of the perfect Trojan horse.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Intercom is the front end to a lot of companies, right? It has been for a while. Yeah, it's a good point. I wonder about, too, the overlap. Is it really overlap, or is it the fact that you get plug and play Fin as a part of this structural improvement around your services organization? Doesn't mean that they're not using Agentforce too, or at some point they're connected in a way that makes it complementary. I don't know, but there's definitely overlap right now.
And what I see is the plug and play is a big seller, and I'm not arguing that this is not a good move on their part. I think it probably is. I mean, getting 30,000 customers who are already using a product is certainly worth something. My question is, to what degree will, given some overlap, to what degree will Fin actually replace Agentforce and maybe even kind of nudge it to the side?
Yeah, see, I actually just don't see how that. Christy, we'll let you go. I'm sorry, but I don't see. I don't think it's a replacement. Obviously, you're talking Agentforce is a much bigger platform play than Fin. Fin's definitely AI first service in a very lightweight. So, but it does have good integration capability. Sorry, Christy, go ahead.
Well, my question is, like it is with everything else that Salesforce buys, is how are they going to integrate it, and are they going to do it well? I mean, it's only going to work with Salesforce as well as the integration goes. And we've seen some of these in the past that maybe haven't gone quite so well. So I think, honestly, it really depends on how they intend to use it and how they intend to integrate it.
Yeah, I would say though that that's not a new use case. Like it exists today. There are
Yeah.
plenty of joint customers that have already integrated into Service Cloud. So and if you think about it from from a API / MCP / however you approach that integration, it seems to me like there's a lightweight way to do it pretty quickly, and then maybe a longer term play that I don't. I mean, again, I'm just guessing.
Answering Christy's second question first, they will do it quite well because they have learned to do that meanwhile. And the other part is they'll do it fast because this overlap is there, and it just makes sense to hack Fin into Agentforce, make it a
I will believe it when I see it and I hear everybody say how well it works.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, you're talking a few quarters of work before the deep integrations there, but I think there's probably lightweight capabilities that integration that can happen very quickly as soon as soon as the acquisition.
I mean, it's already connected, so there's, depending on how much and how fast they re-platform, it'll just work. So probably 10K of those 30K are Salesforce customers.
Yeah. Well, and remember too that for those that aren't, they can continue standalone Intercom Fin for whatever foreseeable future. At least that's the way it looks right now.
Yeah. Which would be a good move. Because look at what SAP constantly makes wrong. They destroyed the Hybris brand, where the Hybris brand was quite strong for them.
Wow, and I mean and they have a history of that, right, Thomas? I mean, they almost did that with Ariba when they folded it in and then went, and they folded it back out. Yeah.
So they have a history in that. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So, Pete, what do you think? You've been quiet.
Star for today so far. Yeah, you had to go and blow it. One of the big topics out there is ROI in AI applications, and a narrow approach with 31,000 customers has immediate ROI. Yeah. And the Agentforce as a general platform is more of an infrastructure play as opposed to a short-term ROI thing, and so all of that is good for Salesforce. And the other thing that in my mind, the switch that flipped for me was like 31,000 customers means to most of the market that, I have to pay attention to this thing now, as opposed to if they don't have any, then I don't have to pay attention to it yet. Yeah. And so that ends that conversation immediately, right? So whether or not it displaces some or all or none of Agentforce doesn't matter, and will probably only Michael will ever know, right? You get the private briefings, the rest of us don't. But who cares? The main thing is are customers using it? Do they like it? Are you growing? How much of your revenue can you start to pull from this area? So
no, that's fair. And I think from an alignment perspective, I don't think there's a huge conflict with Agentforce, Data Cloud, and Fin. Like they are at some level complementary. If you want out of the box agent versus I can construct agents from Agentforce to do this thing. So I wonder, for those customers that have already deployed Agentforce in customer service world, and there's a fair number of them, do they think Fin is an interesting add-on, or do they see it as something that's really not for them? So, I don't know. That's interesting. And there's a decent alignment between the approaches too, right? I mean, Fin is also model agnostic, just like Salesforce, and so I suspect connection-wise that that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Right. So, what do you think? Yes, no, maybe. Yeah. Up?
I'm up.
Is that a leaner? That's a leaner.
I want to see the execution.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Strategy's solid. I want to see it executed.
The
call that
4.4.
4.5.
4.5, right? Well, as a GPA, it's not too bad.
Anyway,
No, yeah, no, I'll
So-
Let's jump to the next one because I think we probably beat that one enough. So an interesting one: Databricks enters the marketing stack with CustomerLake and Agentic CDP. Now, as we know, there's been a lot of discussion around CDPs. So this one jumped out at me when I first saw it. Announced June 16th at the Data Plus AI Summit. CustomerLake is a customer data platform built natively in Databricks Lakehouse and governed by Unity Catalog. It folds Customer 360 identity resolution, audience building, campaign automation, and activation into one AI native foundation with profile agents and campaign agents doing more. Databricks positioned it as Agentic CDP that runs on governed data and AI foundation, enterprise RDUs, replacing one-off campaigns with infinity campaigns. I like that term. Continuous agent loops and to react to customer context and deliver one-to-one personalization. I mean, to me, it is a personalization, individualization play more than anything. But it is, it is an interesting play considering all the noise around CDPs for the last 5, 6, 7 years. What do you guys think?
Well, is this really competing with customer data platforms, or competing with the whole idea that you need a separate set of customer data? That you need a customer data platform that's separate from other parts of your information system. Because I mean, it looks to me like these guys are creating a pretty strong platform that crosses some domains.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess my question is it kind of becoming a marketing platform?
Well, I mean, that's the point. Most CDPs started as a marketing platform, and to say that they cross, I mean, that is the point in the CDP world, right? They all went from slightly focused on marketing tool to a broader focus across the whole platform, bring customer data, integrating and now, and I mean, Databricks certainly is a player in the, we already have a whole lot of customer data in a lake house. So, I mean, it does seem like a logical next step. It did seem a bit heavier on Martech perhaps than the later, kind of current positioning on CDPs has been with, even, well, I mean, I guess it mimics Segment, Twilio's messaging fairly closely. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know, Thomas, what do you think?
What I do think is that usually I get a yawn attack when I hear CDP, because these thingies are zombies. They're quite zombies. And Databricks here makes the same mistake that the old stars are doing. They're focusing on marketing again, which is a load of smelly stuff. Because businesses are a bit more than marketing. Have a look. Even
are they?
business,
I mean, if you talk to CMOs, they wouldn't agree with you.
If I talk to Salesforce, probably not. Then I have an attached development department. But
Jody will put you behind the scenes if you start dissing one.
Exactly. That's why I was like quickly going like,
Having said
fair.
all that, I think it's quite a smart move, because I mean they are under attack to be commoditized as the thing that is underneath. So they need to be able to cover a bit of business logic. And as a data lake, they all have this nice data. And being able to work with this data, or being able to offer businesses to work with the data without another copy, which the other CDPs are doing, yet another copy, is quite a thing. And this, in combination with the attack they recently got from SAP with Reltio and their acquisitions that they did, which has the potential of making them kind of redundant, makes it a pretty obvious response to move up the business app stack.
It's interesting how they're positioning this in almost the same way that Data Cloud has been, right? It's composable, zero copy. You can federate the data if you need to. In their case, of course, their argument goes further. It's already in our data lake, so you don't have to move it because it's already here. But it's interesting. And then, of course, the idea of extended personalization is a big part of the future of AI enabled, right?
you don't need to move it is a nice, let's say, well, emphasis is the wrong word, but it's a nice play on. They probably should have said you already did move it, because it's not.
Well, I mean that part they didn't talk about that part, but
they tend to forget about that part.
I mean on purpose. Let's be honest.
Yeah, of course.
Christy, what do you think?
I think it's probably a good move. What I really want to see is somebody come out with something agentic that fixes the problem in customer data platforms, which is the data. Like, I can't believe that nobody has yet innovated on that and decided that they're going to come up with an agent that can normalize data across different data streams. Like,
Informatica, that's the one that
Informatica,
Claire GPT, and that's, I mean, and honestly, that was one of the reasons that Salesforce bought them. That's probably the only one that I've seen that's fairly advanced. But
yeah, you would think that would be more popular though, because I mean, we all know all of the problems that inconsistent data causes, right?
Yeah, data QA is, to me, one of the best automation use cases.
Absolutely. Geez, just fix it, man. You've got agents now, fix it.
Yeah.
Well, and you need agents to fix it.
Well, exactly. I mean, you can't, doing it manually. Yeah, that's not a thing.
Yeah, just yesterday spent 9 hours fixing data.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, well, and I mean, to that added in, sorry, go ahead, Pete.
I was going to say to me, the problem has been that while the technology could fix the plumbing problem, it never fixed the business part of it, which is kind of what Christy was alluding to. If I don't have the right data, then I can't make the right decision, and I can't do the right campaign or improve the campaign or this or that. And so to me, it's sort of the data that would be really useful is still somewhere else and not in some system that I can grab and then leverage. So whether it's 0 copy or 1 million copy or any of the rest of it, if the data isn't in anything, then we're building systems that, again, are just a cost and a large IT project, as opposed to, oh, now we can start to do this. And you know, like I don't need any more stuff in my in basket, you know, like whether it's personalized or not. Like to me, any personalization is just sort of around the edges, and it doesn't understand my current motivations and the intent I have when I'm on a website. And you know, to the extent that you can solve that data problem, then now you've got something that's valuable.
I mean, you're seeing two threads, right? You've got the capability and you've got the capability to get the data, and those don't always go together, but you have to start somewhere, right? So, I mean, having the capability and then saying we can get to this intent data, and more of it is available. I mean, we talked about, you know, other, you know, Zoom Info and others recently that do have that data available. But I mean, it's a fair point. Personalized, I hate personalized. I really like the word individualized, because I'm past personalization by segment. It's a segment of one.
And guess what? You don't like the term hyper-personalization. Yeah.
Well, and hyper personalization, I don't know. I still think we got to get to individualization. Yeah, I don't like it either. Right?
Yeah. And Pete, also to Christy's point, the natural point and place to get data cleaned and consistent is a data lake.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's the entity where you consolidate all the stuff, smelly or not, wherever it comes. And that's what Salesforce understood so well when they buy it. When they bought, not bite.
Or bite. I mean, either one. They may have bitten them. I don't know.
They bit into the other eye company, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think that's valid. And also, just going heavy into the marketing message, isn't this a little bit dated? I mean, aren't we now past this to talk about customer 360, really talk about customer data across the business, not just for marketing? So I was a little put off by that, I admit, but it is a competitive threat to a fair number of other standalone CDP offerings.
Well,
but look at the scale they are playing.
It does seem like it. Also, it claims to be giving you access to data, kind of the customer data, wherever it happens to live. But going back to one of Pete's major points all along, and for that matter, Christie's, and that is, if it's giving you access to bad data, so what?
Right, because it's not just
bad
marketing
data
and
better
sales,
than no
right?
data, isn't it?
Yeah,
But not always, not always, right? Especially if your product team is using it.
Yeah.
And Steve, the other side is they don't have much business logic. And if I look at, and that's also counter to what Mike just said, if I look at the playground that Databricks plays in, we are not talking small CDPs. We are talking Salesforce Data Cloud. We are talking Adobe.
Yeah, Adobe Segment, Twilio Segment.
We are talking the SAP level, Microsoft also, and there they still fall a bit short with having this kind of tiny little CDP-ish thing that they deliver. Agents are not on top of it, and infinite campaigns. Well, there's nothing new about
campaigns.
that.
I think I have infinite campaigns in my inbox every morning, but that's a different.
Yes.
Anyway, all right. Well, so what do you guys think? I mean, is this reality hype, really hype? What do we vote? What do we vote? Oh, that's interesting. We got
wow.
We are
semi-hype to hype. That's pretty good, I guess.
We are too much in alignment today. Something's wrong.
That is wrong, isn't it? I don't know. All right, well, I'll get you on this next one then, because one more interesting one that pops. Jasper launched an end-to-end GEO generative engine optimization agent for AI search visibility. And I put this one in particularly because you almost can't go anywhere right now without a conversation around generative engine optimization or answer engine optimization, depending on your flavor of the day. Agent to help marketing teams analyze, influence, improve how brand appears across AI-powered search and discovery, which is clearly an important issue. And it's interesting. The more information is commoditized because it's available in the answer engine versus going to the source, then the more human judgment is important. So getting you in the position with that information in the answer engine, especially if you're in a information delivery business like consulting or analyst firms, it's critical, right? So it is an interesting play. End-to-end, continuously analyze signals, identify gaps, optimize workflows. I mean, if all those things work, interesting. What do you think?
It's critical for pretty much every marketer that is around, because I mean, who likes being misrepresented? And this is what those fancy Claudes and ChatGPTs, Perplexities, Groks, and whatever their name is, very likely still do, because they are looking. Well, Gemini is very good at using outdated data. So they're using partial and outdated data, and this is what you need to monitor and what you need to change. So to be able to represent it right and correctly, the way you want to be represented, and not Grok thinks that you could be represented. And closing the loop there is important.
Thomas made me smile, so we should get that on camera too. I just yesterday, Thomas, I asked, I don't know, 1 or 2 or 3 of the damn engines a question, and it was looking for a specific statistic, and it gave me one, and it was basically some other research had actually done it. So it was just somebody talking about the thing that was actually done. And then what it was talking about was a totally different context, which was like it was just COVID related. Okay, well, I care about like what's going on right now. That's what I asked you, but you just skipped over that part, and you just gave me something that was easiest to find or whatever its algorithm had it do, right? And so I'm like, that's useless to me. Thanks for your half an hour of bad token spending on my part to get something that is clearly not what I was looking for. And you would have
I don't
known
know.
that had I written a 5-page prompt, maybe.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I mean, whose fault is that? I don't know.
Having a back to usage-based billing, it was all good for the model provider because you burned the token and you burned them
Exactly.
again.
Fair,
Sucker.
fair.
Yeah.
But you know, obviously, those of us who use the tools a lot, I mean, it is the more context and memory you involve in that conversation, the better. And that's still, I mean, that's still the case, right? It's always going to be an issue until we come up with some way for it to automatically have enough context, which, I mean, maybe this new Gemini 3.5 model with its 2 million contact, whatever the new character limits, doubled everybody else's, which is, by the way, not going to be GA until next month. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know.
I agree with you, Pete. I had that same problem in a pitch deck I was preparing where I asked for different statistics that I could throw in the pitch deck. And it wound up giving me something that was completely out of context. And, I was just wondering, okay, do I need an agent behind the scenes to have this agent check its context? And then you start getting into that whole circular agentic workflow. I'm like, oh, yeah.
That's a good sub agent, I think. I mean, you want a sub agent to validate.
Sure, as long as that agent understands what you're going for, right?
Wow. I mean, that's a good point.
To what degree can Claude and ChatGPT be influenced in the same way that you might influence a search engine under SEO idea? Is at this point, is there such a thing as a GEO?
Yeah, there's no question about that. I mean, it's crawling all the time, and most, there's a bunch of ways to improve that, but people have learned that having markdown files that tell everything you're going to do in a language that the answer engine's going to understand. And I mean, a lot of tools out there now for analyzing your website and giving you, have agents to help figure out how to do it. And I mean, it works there. I've not only on my own, but I've also taken one of my clients through that setup, and it's made a huge difference in how often they're cited. So it does work.
Yeah, the tools are there for quite some time already. What Jasper does here is they put a fancy agent wrapper around it.
Yeah,
this is the marketing piece around it, and what they are actually technically doing is they're closing the loop with it.
Yeah.
So, which gets a bit underemphasized in their announcement. But this is where I would see the value.
I was seeing it most, and from this looks like GEO most from Gemini, rather than the other platforms that I use. I.e., essentially, when I was using Gemini as a search engine, it seemed to be influenced.
Yeah, I mean, Google is a marketing company. They want that you spend your dollars with them, means they give you the tools that you can do so. And that their ads appear on your site or get shown from your site. So it's in their best interest to offer the same tools. The question is whether you really want to be dependent on, Warlock, kind of.
I don't know. Yeah. All right.
Warlock? Is that what you said?
Warlock. Yeah.
Well, that's probably my pronunciation. MOLOCH.
I don't know. All right. Well, we're getting near the run out of time clock. So let's make sure we get the vote. So what do you guys think? Yes, no, maybe?
Although I talked quite positively, but I mean, it's not a real thing.
I'm actually in the 50 percentile mark there, but all right. Well, I mean, that one we didn't necessarily agree completely on that one, so I guess that's good. Anyway, all right. Well, so that's the show for this week. I mean, thanks for joining today. Join us each week at Thursday at 12:15 as we put the tech news in the hot seat. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the show.